Once we had negative numbers available, we had a method for rewriting subtraction as addition. Now that we have fractions available, we also have a method for rewriting division as multiplication. In order to rewrite division as multiplication, however, we need the notion of the reciprocal of a number. To take the reciprocal of a number that's currently written as a fraction, we exchange the numerator and denominator. So, for example, the reciprocal of the fraction 2/3 is 3/2. To take the reciprocal of a number that is not currently written as a fraction, first we write it as a fraction. So, for example, if we want to take the reciprocal of 3, well, we write 3 as 3/1, and so its reciprocal is 1/3. Notice there are two steps here. First, write it as a fraction, then take the reciprocal. Now, we can also cheat and do this with a decimal. We can write 3.1, for example, as 3.1 over 1, and then take its reciprocal as 1 over 3.1. Notice that this is not a legal fraction. Since fractions have to have an integer numerator and denominator. These are technically what are called complex fractions. They have a fraction. They have a fraction or a decimal in their numerator or denominator. But this will still serve the purpose of the reciprocal. And that purpose is we can always rewrite division as multiplication by the reciprocal. So for example, if we have 2/3 divided by 7/8, we can rewrite that as 2/3 times 8/7, which will be, on a good day, 16/21, multiplying the numerators, multiplying the denominators. Why does that work? Let's do this in the language of algebra, so that you know that it doesn't just work for, the particular numbers in my example, but it works for any old numbers. Say we want to take the fraction a over b and divide it by the fraction c over d. And remember, this works for integers as well. Just use denominator 1. The question a over b divided by c over d equals what means what times c over d gives me a over b. Well, it turns out if I take a over b times d over c times c over d, we can regroup things as we like in multiplication. That's the same as a over b times d over c times c over d, which is the same as a over b times, well, D times C, C times D, the numerator and denominator are the same, so this equals 1. We have A over B times 1, which is just the fraction A over B. So, A over B times D over C answers the question, what times C over D gives me A over B? That is, it answers the question, A over B divided by C over D equals what?